to Americana, your trusted source for all things 2024 presidential election. I'm your moderator, Raquel Herring, and joining me today is our Democratic host, Shakia Moore, on my right, and our Republican host, Willie Montague. With only 28 days until Election Day, the race is closer than ever, and every moment matters. Let's dive into the key campaign highlights and break down what's happening on the trail. Billionaire tech executive Elon Musk, known for leading SpaceX, Tesla, and purchasing X, made headlines after appearing with Donald Trump. Elon Musk made some bold remarks, calling Trump the only candidate who can preserve democracy in America. Trump has said he would tap Musk to lead a government efficiency commission if he regains the White House. So, Willie, you were like staring at me intently when I was reading that. With such strong endorsements, do you think Elon Musk's influence could sway voters in Trump's favor?
Absolutely. You got to look at Elon Musk. He is like the tech guru. You got to look at the fact with all the Teslas and all those things like that. So I think that he's leading the way, and I think that Trump knows what's up, and it's going to happen. So Elon Musk for the win.
Man, I can't even take Willie serious right now with his Make America Great hat on. He looks foolish, but whatever, Will. Good to see you today.
Good to see you. Good to see you.
But regarding Elon, I think it's comical. One, because if you looked at the pep rally that they were at, I call it a pep rally. He mentioned something about him being a dark MAGA.
Right.
So
right.
To me, there's different levels to Republicans. There's a Republican who's conservative, there's a MAGA, and now you have dark MAGA.
Wow.
And so I just want to ask you, co-host, which one are you? Are you
a
Republican, or are you a MAGA or a dark MAGA, since you're wearing the hat?
Let's go dark MAGA. Let me tell you why.
Lord have mercy.
This means
this man says he's a dark MAGA.
all means necessary. We got to have this red wave come to the country. The radical left has been destructive to America. And so right now we need you.
But tell me though, Will, honestly, what
is the difference?
What does it mean to make America great again? Because in my definition, making America great again means that you and I would not have the positions that we have right now today. You would not be able to have the freedoms that you have if that's the America that you are promoting.
But here, explain to me, how did you come to that conclusion?
What do you mean? How did I come to that conclusion?
How saying make America great?
Because the white supremacists.
What? Please.
I'm sorry. We do this.
No.
We on the roll right now.
Again. No, I was just commenting because he was saying again.
Thank you.
But tell me, because let's break it all the way down.
Break it.
In order for us to get where we are as Black America, right? There was a greatness before the destruction of the Democrat Party. So when I hear Trump say make America great again, I'm believing that what he wants to do is to restore our Black Wall Streets, make sure that the economic stability of the Black and brown people.
He has proven time and time again that he does not care about Black people like you and me.
How did he prove that?
Let's start with the young men in New York City, right?
Okay.
Where he took out a whole half-page ad, actually a full-page ad,
that
calls for their execution, right? He also denied a Black tenant from renting from one of his condos.
You know, it's
also,
so interesting.
Do you want me to continue down this road?
It's so interesting that Democrats love to bring up dates, but they can never recall how to run a country.
So honestly,
that's very interesting to me.
Aside from that, because I'm on this topic because you're promoting Make America Great Again.
No, what I'm promoting is common sense.
Okay, common sense. You obviously don't have common sense. Obviously, he doesn't have common sense. Because if he did, he would not be parading around in his hat.
I'm Black.
I'm
a Republican.
Yes,
I'm wearing a hat.
But you never
and we're all having this conversation.
You never answered my question.
I don't see white supremacists coming in here, knocking me off the stage, knocking you off the stage.
But they are here. But you can't deny that white supremacy, not physically in this
have
audience.
Have you ever met a white supremacist?
Oh, God.
Please make sure to contact us so we can bring them on the show to interview them.
You are really brainwashed.
I am
really concerned for you, Will. Okay, but honestly, though, Will, answer my question, because there seems to be three types
I would love it. Do we have extra chairs so we can bring
there is
a white
MAGA,
supremacist on
and
the
now
stage?
Elon Musk is saying that there is a dark MAGA. So which one is Will? He has yet to answer the question.
I answered it in the beginning.
Which one?
Two? This is a great topic to continue debating, but we're going to move on. You can trust that we will keep you updated with every move from Donald Trump and Kamala Harris. Now it's time to move on to political programs. Gun violence across the United States of America is a rising issue that desperately needs critical attention. As of September 5th, at least 11,598 people have died from gun violence in the United States this year. That's an average of almost 47 deaths per day, according to the Gun Violence Archive. Let's start with school security, Shakia, with a Democrat standpoint, from a Democrat standpoint, how do you propose we enforce safety for our children?
I think that's a great question, and hopefully my co-hosts will agree on some of this, right? Because safety, we'll see. But I do think that the safety of children is extremely critical, whether you are a Republican, a dark MAGA Republican, or a Democrat, independent, it doesn't matter. I think we have become so desensitized to school shootings that it's just like, oh, another school shooting.
One, yeah.
We send our thoughts and prayers, right?
Yeah.
So I think to answer the question, one of the ways that we can ensure that our children are safe is by ensuring that they have background checks when you are purchasing a firearm. Like, that is just a common sense, since we're talking about common sense. Doing a background check on folks and making sure that they adhere to the proper waiting periods for that. Secondly, I think you should store your firearms properly. Like, a firearm shouldn't just be sitting on the counter for a child or a minor or someone who isn't authorized to use it to be able to obtain it. And then thirdly, like, just ban assault weapons, because we're seeing a lot of senseless shootings and killings. And here's where I know you're about to go, because you're going to get me started, right? I feel like the Republican Party has this thing where they're like, oh, they're wanting to take our rights of being a gun owner. It's not that. You can own a gun and own it sensibly. Where we are seeing a lot of issues within this country is that it's senseless killings. It's people who are having access to guns without the proper protocols in place. If you are a gun owner, that's fine. Just make sure that you're responsible with it. Do you not agree with that?
Okay, listen, let's start here, first of all, because I have to bring order and correction. You cannot go anywhere and get a gun without already having a background check. That's one. So background checks are already there. That's the first thing. Training and making sure that's secure, that's up to the individual to go. Now, what we need to realize is that, of course, the first priority is protecting the children, because that's the question about school safety, protecting the children. We cannot go against people's constitutional right. That's also the second thing I want to bring up. So when you talk about banning things, you are then coming against the Second Amendment, which clearly states that shall not be infringed. I don't need you banning anything from me. If that's the case, when they start stabbing up everyone, you're going to ban knives. I won't be able to cut my butter because you want to ban
banning
knives.
things, but yet we're trying to ban abortion rights for women. So which ban are you talking about?
Let's
use your words wisely, Mr. Montague. Use your words wisely.
Who is...
You're talking about banning.
We're protecting the lives of the unborn. How do we get here? We
can always bring it back to abortion. And
the lives of the unborn.
We're
not telling you to go out there and do anything that is outside of the fact that it is a moral thing. And if you do not think protecting the lives of the unborn is moral, then that is the issue.
But so if that is your stance, then what about those who are already born, right? And they are children, right? And they're getting killed by senseless murders with guns. So where does that come into play?
Please tell me when a gun
Just
got
answer
up.
the question.
Tell me when a gun ever walked and killed someone on its own.
Okay.
We need to
and
be
what
able.
we've been seeing is white supremacy, right? Are usually the ones who are behind the gun ownership, who are running rampant and killing innocent children.
You need to look at the statistics for black on black crime.
Absolutely, black on black crime is a thing.
Right. So let's talk about black
but
supremacists.
Own that your party is also behind the senseless killings, right? We can talk about that.
Okay. What? All right. Y'all,
no,
moving on.
No.
This coming up
That's
next,
what you call crazy.
We have some Oh, okay. Oh, I'm moving on too fast. Oh, I'm supposed to get in there with my questions. I have questions. How can committees, educators, and policymakers work together to create safer environments in schools to prevent future tragedies like the one at Appalachia High School. This was recent.
Yeah.
First of all, municipalities, local level government, federal government, everybody can have a conversation about sitting down. That's the most important thing.
Yeah.
Okay.
However, again, the conversation is not about protecting the children. We know that needs to be done. The conversation needs to be about mental health. The conversation needs to be about how do we go in and teach everybody, parents, children, everybody about gun safety, not gun confiscation. That is what the Democrats want to do.
They're not talking about gun confiscation.
But listen,
and also you using mental health as a weaponizing factor, like that's
who said it was weaponizing?
Because not
I said that we need to talk about mental health.
We should talk about mental health, but mental health should not be the reason or the basis behind someone going up and shooting a school. That is not always the case. I think we are now using this mental health thing as an escape.
So what's the case, Ms. Kia?
What do you mean?
What's the case? If mental health is not part of the issue, then what's the issue?
Safety.
Okay, so how do you get safe without bringing, I didn't say that was the only issue. I literally said we need to have conversation across the board about everything that pertains to gun safety.
And I'm also just noting the fact that we should not hide behind being a mental health issue. That is not the only issue at hand.
Coming up next, we have some social media updates and latest polls. Stay tuned. We'll be right back after this commercial break. Welcome back. Social media has been keeping us in the loop on the 2024 presidential election. Let's check out some social media updates. When it comes to social media, in most categories, Donald Trump is ahead of Kamala Harris. For example, Donald Trump saw 1.1 million new followers in the last month, while Kamala Harris only gained around 250,000. Trump had a 0.06% higher engagement rate on X and averaged 5 times more likes than Harris. Willie, in your opinion, does social media engagement have any impact on the polls, and do you think these numbers will reflect when it comes to Election Day?
Absolutely. We'll see in 2016 and 2020 that social media is very impactful to the election. As we could tell that because we have the left that controls Facebook and such, that they also stifled the Republicans from being able to run social media ads at that time. Oh. So I believe, like President Trump, because he has a lead over VP Harris, is because he actually has a message.
Oh.
Boom.
I just can't take Will serious with this hat on, to be honest, y'all. I am staring at him. I hear what he's saying. But this hat is just like, make America great again, whatever. But to the question at hand, y'all, I would have to agree that social media does play a role in a campaign. I would like to think that, Trump is gaining this momentum and he's ahead in social media because what he's saying is true. But we all know that gossip sells. We all know that folks like trashy news. And,
well, that's why they have Harris.
And that's literally what he is upholding. Like, that's what he's pushing out. People are stirred by fear. And so he usually uses his platform to do that. People tend to look at Donald Trump's social media to look and see how he's spiraling that day, if he's taking his meds that day. And so usually when you see a spike in engagement on his social media, it's because he has gone off the rails. And so I understand
would counter that by saying
I understand why his social media is gaining a lot of following, because they're wanting to see what dementia patient is off
you look
his
at the
meds
Harris
today.
and Biden administration, all they do all day long is point fingers. They never have no solution. It's always Trump, 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 Trump. That's the infatuation that they have, as I told you, because we know you're infatuated.
So now we're infatuated
I
with
this
you
today
all.
because I want to help you with your infatuation.
You're pandering
I want
by
to help
wearing
with your
this raggedy ass hat.
I want to help you with your
You're
infatuation
pandering
with
by
Trump.
wearing this hat.
But Trump is leading because he has a MAGA plan.
A dark MAGA plan.
Yeah, no, he has a MAGA plan.
A dark
and
MAGA
unlike
plan.
Harris, who continues to only show up late when it's convenient to her to be able to get a couple of votes.
It's like she's damned if she does, damned if she doesn't. Like, y'all want her to be so out in the public, and when she is in the public, she's too late. She shouldn't have did this. And it's just like, do y'all even like black women? Because y'all always got something to say about what she's doing and what she's
and
not
Raquel,
doing.
I like you guys. You sitting in front of me.
Obviously you do.
So what point are you
and I'm not talking about you directly. I'm talking about your party.
What are you talking about? Most of the leaders in there.
Cassidy Hutchinson, former Trump White House aide, recently explained why she decided to endorse Vice President Kamala Harris. Let's take a look.
How did you make the decision to endorse Vice President Harris?
The decision to endorse Vice President Harris was honestly a very simple decision for me, especially after speaking out against Donald Trump and the dangers that he poses to our democracy. I had also planned to support President Biden if he were to run for re-election, and I gave him a lot of credit for passing the torch on to the next generation of leadership. We might not see eye to eye on many policy issues, but I trust her to hold people accountable. I trust her to uphold our rule of law.
So going from being on Donald Trump's staff to endorsing Kamala Harris is quite a significant shift. Shakia, what's your take on this?
I think, Raquel, what you're seeing is Republicans, true Republicans, right? Not the MAGA or dark MAGA. What you're seeing is Republicans who believe in country over party. You're seeing folks who are tired of the same rhetoric and the division and the chaos and the fear-mongering. You're seeing folks who want a change in this country. You're seeing folks who just want unity amongst us all. We may not agree on everything. We're not expecting perfection from a particular candidate, but we are looking for is respectability. We're looking for poise and demeanor, right? And we're looking for folks a party who can actually lead this country in the right direction with everyone in tandem, including those who actually are dark MAGA and
I
white
would say
supremacists,
this,
because
what you're
it's
looking
country
at,
over
what you're
party.
looking at is Republicans in name only. We call them rhinos. So you're looking at individuals who really are not concerned about the country. They're concerned about, if you notice, every single Republican that has endorsed VP Harris has all got their 15 seconds of fame so that they somehow can get a position within the administration that won't be happening, because you will be calling her former vice president come November 5th.
I'm so glad you can pronounce her name correctly now. We are making progress.
We're making it.
I
had to
proud
struggle
of you
because it's hard to call somebody's name that never shows up.
I am so proud of you.
So outside of that, like I said before, this endorsement of VP Harris means absolutely nothing. We're leading the charge and we're going forward. So congratulations.
All right. Look at that. Woo! We are getting closer and closer to the 2024 presidential election. Let's check in on the latest polls. With just weeks left until the election, Donald Trump and Kamala Harris remain in a tight race. History shows that polls don't always reflect actual votes. So, Willie, do you think Trump could stage a last-minute turnaround?
Trump is leading, and as I said before, polls is only a snapshot. And President Trump has been leading from the beginning. Now, we have polls that show, and as I said before, because VP Harris has decided to come on the scene and actually do something out of the 3.7 years that she has been the VP.
I think we should hold a civics lesson because it's so confusing where people think that a vice president is able to do all of these executive decisions, and she's only there
I mentioned
as
this before.
a senior advisor to the president,
President Biden
and to break the
said that,
Senate tie when needed.
Let's get this,
so people are
let's get this on
expecting
camera.
her to do
President
something that she's
Biden
not even qualified
gave her
to do.
Authority. She has authority to act. He even said it herself. She is just.
Do you know civics?
Do you understand
authority?
authority?
Do you know civics?
Do you understand authority?
I understand authority, but do you know the civics of her position?
Her position is to be the vice president of the United States.
Yes.
She can have a conversation
she can.
with this president.
But you are saying that she should make the executive order. That is not her jurisdiction. Did I ever say an executive order? No. That is not her jurisdiction.
Rewind.
Will.
I never said that she can make an executive order. What I said is that she has been absent for the last 3.7 years. President Biden made her the border Caesar. She just ended up going to the border. As I said, she went to on the border, the restaurant, instead of actually going to the border because she's confused. And so what I said is that she had delegated authority to represent.
I just feel like people like Will just don't like black women.
No.
They don't like women in
charge.
Here
we go.
I mean, because what else is it?
What else is it? The victimhood mentality. Let's play the violin, everyone. There you go. Victimhood mentality.
There's no victimhood here.
We have another victim.
I'm just telling you what the rhetoric is from your party.
We have another victim. Presidential poll highlights how close the race between Kamala Harris and Donald Trump has become. With under a month left before the election, a Neapolitan new survey shows that candidates tied 49%, marking the first time since mid-August. Takia, Kamala Harris has been able to maintain a modest lead. But as the clock ticks down, will she be able to maintain the momentum?
I think that she will. I mean, and like I said earlier, like she's damn if she do, she damn if she doesn't. You know, she's decided to go on a media blitz this week with Waltz, and whether or not the Republican Party, whether or not the Republican Party wants to acknowledge that, I think that she's doing a great job. I mean, she's hitting the issues. She's talking about the issues now, and I can admit it's late in the game. She should have done that sooner. However, campaign-wise, I feel like she's gaining momentum because she's hitting people where they are. Just last week, she was making visits in the battleground states and communities that were impacted by Helene. This week, she's doing all sorts of untraditional news outlets. She's doing sit-down minutes. Tonight, she'll be on 60 Minutes. Tonight, you know, tomorrow, she'll be doing some other interviews while she's in New York. She'll be hitting Univision. So she's hitting the communities. Late in the game, kind of, sort of, but I think her message is landing with folks that it needs to hit.
Raquel, 3 words, late as usual. That is exactly what it is. She's late as usual. Late to the border, late to giving money, making sure that the showing up for the hurricane victims. She's late. Now she wants to start doing a media blitz. We're 28 days away from the election, and she's late. She's late,
and I'm so happy that eventually we're going to put all of this to rest.
Yeah.
And when we come in 28 more days, we're going to say that she is Madam President of the United States of America, with Walz as her Vice President of the United States of America. And we'll be able to send the convicted felon back to Mar-a-Lago, wherever he's, you know, dwelling. His dark MAGA friend,
You're right. She is going to be
super excited.
She is going to be Madam President of the basement, the same basement that Joe Biden spent his time in.
Do you see what I mean?
That's what you're going to call her.
And
the Madam President of the basement.
The dark MAGA.
We have
the dark MAGA
we have
supporters.
risen. Everyone,
Ladies
go
and
out there and
gentlemen,
get your
the
Batman
dark
suit.
MAGA.
We're going out there
The
and we're
dark
taking
MAGA
over.
is live and in color.
We're
Live
going to
and
do
in
what
color,
it
right?
takes. You're right, live and in color. See, no
Live
white
and
supremacists
in
here.
color.
There you
Oh
go.
my goodness. Thank you all so much for tuning into Americana. We will be right here tomorrow at 7:30. And for all of you who are affected by Hurricane Milton, gosh, we pray for you. Please stay safe. Take all the necessary precautions. We will be back here tomorrow, 7:30. Thank you all for watching. Again, please be safe.